Those babies aren't his. Everyone knows it, her mother-in-law announced at the family reunion. The whole family nodded. For 9 months they had called her a liar, a gold digger, a cheater. Her husband sat in silence. Then the nursery door opened. The grandmother who supported her walked in carrying the twins. The room went still. 2 tiny faces looked up, with their father's exact eyes, his nose, his chin, and the same birthmark on their necks. The mother-in-law's glass shattered on the floor. Then she fainted. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. You look like you would rather be anywhere else right now. Maya turned around and saw a tall man with blue eyes standing next to her. He wore a dark suit and held a glass of wine. He was smiling. "Is it that obvious?" Maya asked. "Only to someone who feels exactly the same way," the man said. He held out his hand. "I am David Patterson." Maya shook his hand. "Maya Johnson. I work here at the hospital. I am a nurse." "I am visiting from Connecticut," David said. "My company donated money to the hospital, so they invited me to this event. I do not know anyone here." It was March 2019. The fundraiser was being held in the main lobby of Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. There were decorations everywhere. People wore formal clothes and talked in small groups. Music played softly from speakers. Tables had white tablecloths and flower arrangements. Maya had worked at the hospital for 3 years. She loved her job helping patients, but she did not love events like this. "What kind of work do you do in Connecticut?" Maya asked. "I am a financial consultant," David said. "Very boring, I promise. What about nursing? Do you like it?" "I love it," Maya said. Her face brightened when she talked about her work. "I work with children mostly. Pediatrics. It is hard sometimes, but it is the best job in the world." They talked for 20 minutes standing near the back wall. Then they sat down at an empty table and talked for 2 more hours. David told her about his family's real estate business. He told her about growing up in Greenwich, Connecticut. He told her about going to Yale University. Maya told him about growing up in Atlanta. She told him about her grandmother who raised her after her mother died in a car accident when she was 8 years old. She told him about working 2 jobs in high school to help pay bills. She told him about nursing school at Georgia State University. "You worked 2 jobs and went to school?" David asked. "That must have been incredibly difficult." Maya shrugged. "You do what you have to do. My grandmother did everything for me. I wanted to make her proud." "She must be very proud," David said. "She was," Maya said quietly. "She passed away 2 years ago." "I am sorry," David said. They exchanged phone numbers before David left that night. Maya went home to her small apartment and thought about his blue eyes and kind smile. She did not expect to hear from him again. Connecticut was far away from Georgia, but David called her the next day. "Would you like to have dinner with me tonight?" he asked. "You are still in Atlanta?" Maya said, surprised. "I changed my flight," David said. "I want to see you again." They went to a restaurant in downtown Atlanta. They talked and laughed for 3 hours. David asked her questions about her life and actually listened to her answers. Maya felt comfortable with him in a way she rarely felt with anyone. David started visiting Atlanta every weekend. He would fly down on Friday evening and fly back on Sunday night. They walked through Piedmont Park. They had coffee at small cafes. They watched movies. They talked about everything. Maya's best friend Lisa worked at the hospital with her. Lisa said Maya smiled more than she had in years. "This man flies here every single weekend to see you," Lisa said one day at work. "That is serious." "I know," Maya said. "It scares me a little." "Why does it scare you?" Lisa asked. "Because what if it ends?" Maya said. "What if I let myself love him and then he leaves?" "What if you let yourself love him and he stays?" Lisa said. In September, 6 months after they met, David took Maya to Piedmont Park. It was early evening. The sun was setting. They walked to a spot near the lake. David stopped walking and turned to face her. "I have something to ask you," David said. He got down on one knee. He pulled a small box from his pocket. Maya's heart started beating fast. "Maya Johnson, will you marry me?" David asked. Maya started crying. Yes, I will marry you." David stood up and put the ring on her finger. He kissed her. Maya felt happy and scared at the same time. She loved him. She wanted to build a life with him, but she had never met his family. He had talked about them sometimes. His mother Patricia, his sister Jennifer, his grandmother Ruth, who lived in Massachusetts. He said his mother could be difficult. He said his family would need time to adjust to their relationship. Maya did not understand what that meant exactly, but she did not ask more questions. She was too happy. They planned a small wedding in Savannah for November. Maya wanted something simple. David agreed. They sent invitations to family and close friends. David called his mother to tell her about the wedding. "What did she say?" Maya asked after the phone call. David's face looked strange. "She said she would try to make it." "Try to make it?" Maya said. "It is your wedding." "She is just busy with work things," David said. "She will come around." A week before the wedding, David set up a video call with his family so Maya could meet them. Maya sat next to David in her apartment with her laptop open. Patricia appeared on the screen. She was a woman with blonde hair and cold eyes. She wore pearls and red lipstick. Jennifer appeared next to her. She looked like a younger version of Patricia. "Hello, Maya," Patricia said. Her voice was polite but not warm. "David tells us you work as a nurse." "Yes, at Grady Memorial Hospital," Maya said. "I have worked there for 3 years." "How nice," Patricia said. She did not smile. "David, your father's business partner called about the quarterly reports. You need to call him back." The entire video call lasted 15 minutes. Patricia talked mostly to David about business things. She barely looked at Maya. Jennifer said almost nothing. Maya felt cold inside when the call ended. "That was just the first meeting," David said. "They will warm up to you." The wedding day arrived on a Saturday in November. The ceremony was at a small historic chapel in Savannah. There were 30 people invited. Maya wore a simple white dress. Lisa was her maid of honor. David's friend from college was his best man. Maya kept looking at the door, waiting for Patricia to arrive. The seat reserved for her stayed empty. Right before the ceremony started, Jennifer walked in wearing a black dress. Everyone else wore light colors like Maya requested in the invitation. Jennifer sat in the back row and immediately pulled out her phone. The ceremony began. Maya walked down the short aisle. David stood at the front smiling at her. They held hands and said their vows. Maya promised to love him and stand by him. David promised the same. The officiant pronounced them married. Everyone clapped. Maya smiled, but her heart felt heavy. David's mother had not come to their wedding. After the ceremony, people gathered outside the chapel. Ruth appeared suddenly. She was a small woman with white curly hair and glasses. She walked straight to Maya and wrapped her arms around her. "I am Ruth," she said. "David's grandmother. I am so proud to have you in this family, sweet girl." Ruth had tears in her eyes. She held Maya tightly. Maya felt some of the heaviness in her chest lift. At least one person from David's family accepted her. "Thank you for coming," Maya whispered. "I would not miss it for anything," Ruth said. Jennifer left right after the ceremony. She did not say goodbye. Patricia never sent a message or called. A card arrived at Maya's apartment the next day. Inside was just Patricia's signature. No message, no congratulations, just her name written in neat handwriting. Maya and David drove to Connecticut 2 weeks later. They were moving into a house David had rented in Greenwich. As they pulled up to Patricia's mansion for their first visit as a married couple, Maya's stomach felt tight with nervousness. The mansion was huge with white columns and a circular driveway. Patricia opened the front door before they could knock. She looked at Maya without smiling. "Come in," Patricia said. "We need to discuss some important family rules." Maya sat on a stiff couch in Patricia's living room. David sat next to her. Patricia sat across from them in a high-backed chair. Everything in the room looked expensive. The furniture was white and cream-colored. Paintings hung on the walls in gold frames. The carpet was so clean it looked like nobody ever walked on it. "There are certain expectations in this family," Patricia said. She held a cup of tea in her hands. "David, you will continue working at the firm. You will attend Sunday dinners here every week. Maya, you will need to understand that family business matters are private. They do not involve you." "I understand," Maya said quietly. Patricia looked at Maya's clothes. Maya wore jeans and a sweater. Sunday dinners require proper attire, dresses or skirts, nothing casual. "Okay," Maya said. "Mother, we just wanted to stop by and say hello," David said. "We need to get to the house and unpack." "Of course," Patricia said. She did not stand up to hug them goodbye. "I will see you both on Sunday." They left the mansion and drove to their rental house in Greenwich. The house was nice with 3 bedrooms and a small yard, but it felt cold to Maya. It did not feel like home. She missed her small apartment in Atlanta. She missed hearing her neighbors through the walls. She missed the sounds of the city. December passed slowly. Maya found a nursing job at a hospital 20 minutes from their house. The work was good, but the people were different from Atlanta. Everyone seemed distant and formal. She called Lisa every week. "How is Connecticut?" Lisa asked during one call in late December. "Cold," Maya said, "and I do not just mean the weather." "What about David's family?" "We have Sunday dinner at his mother's house every week," Maya said. "She barely speaks to me. His sister Jennifer talks about expensive restaurants and shopping trips. I just sit there and eat." "That sounds terrible," Lisa said. "David keeps saying they need time to get used to me," Maya said, "but I do not think time will change anything." January of 2022 arrived. Maya started feeling sick in the mornings. At first she thought it was stress from the new job and the tension with David's family. But the sickness continued for a week, then 2 weeks. One morning in late January, Maya bought 3 pregnancy tests from the pharmacy on her way home from work. She took the first test in the bathroom. She waited 3 minutes. 2 pink lines appeared. Pregnant. Her hands started shaking. She took the second test. Pregnant. She took the third test. Pregnant. Maya sat on the bathroom floor holding all 3 tests. She was happy and terrified at the same time. She wanted children. But she did not know if this was the right time. David's family already hated her. A baby would make everything more complicated. She made an appointment with a doctor for the next week. David went with her. They sat in the examination room waiting for the ultrasound. The doctor came in and squeezed cold gel on Maya's stomach. She moved the ultrasound wand around. Then she stopped and looked at the screen. "Well," the doctor said, "I see 2 babies." "2?" Maya said. "Twins," the doctor said. She pointed at the screen. "See here and here? 2 heartbeats. You are about 8 weeks along." Maya stared at the screen. She could see 2 small shapes. David grabbed her hand. "Twins," he said. His voice sounded strange. "Are you sure?" "I am sure," the doctor said. "Congratulations." They drove home in silence. Maya kept touching her stomach. 2 babies. She was going to have 2 babies. That evening, David paced around the living room. "We need to tell my family." "Do we have to tell them right away?" Maya asked. "They will find out eventually," David said. "It is better if we tell them ourselves." "Your mother does not even like me," Maya said. "How is she going to react to this news?" "She will adjust," David said. "Once the babies are born, she will love them. You will see." Maya did not believe him, but she agreed to announce the pregnancy at the next Sunday dinner. Sunday came. They drove to Hartford, where Patricia's mansion was located. The drive took 40 minutes. Maya felt sick the entire time, and not just from pregnancy. Jennifer was already there when they arrived. Her husband Mark sat next to her looking bored. David's cousin Robert was there too. Robert worked at the family real estate company. The sister of Patricia, Susan, sat in an armchair by the window. They all sat down in the formal dining room. The table was set with expensive china plates and crystal glasses. A woman who worked for Patricia brought out the food: roasted chicken, vegetables, potatoes, salad. Everyone ate and talked about business and money and people Maya did not know. David cleared his throat. The table went quiet. Everyone looked at him. "Maya and I have some news," David said. His voice was unsteady. "We are having a baby. Actually, we are having twins." The room became completely silent. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. Patricia slowly put down her fork. It made a small clicking sound against the plate. She stared at Maya with cold eyes. "Twins," Patricia said. The word sounded like an accusation. "Yes," Maya said. "The doctor confirmed it last week. We are very happy." Jennifer started laughing. It was a sharp, mean laugh. "Twins? That is impossible. Twins do not run in our family." "They run in my family," Maya said. "My grandmother had twins. My great-aunt had twins." Patricia's face turned hard. "Are you certain about the father, Maya?" Maya felt like she had been slapped. "What did you just say?" "I think it is a fair question," Patricia said. "You and David have only been married a short time, and now suddenly you are pregnant with twins that do not run in the Patterson bloodline." "Are you accusing me of cheating?" Maya's voice rose. "Are you seriously accusing me of that?" "I am simply asking reasonable questions," Patricia said. Her voice stayed calm and cold. "You come from a very different background than David. You married into a wealthy family. Now you are pregnant with twins. Some people might see that as convenient." "Convenient?" Maya stood up from the table. Her chair scraped loudly against the floor. "I did not trap your son. I love him, and these are his children." She looked at David. He sat frozen in his chair, staring at his plate. His face was pale. "David, say something," Maya said. David did not speak. He did not look up. "David," Maya said louder. "Mother, maybe we should all calm down," David said quietly. He still did not look at Maya. "Calm down?" Maya felt tears burning in her eyes. "Your mother just called me a gold digger and accused me of cheating, and you want me to calm down?" Patricia stood up. "I think you should leave, Maya. You are causing a scene." "I am causing a scene?" Maya's voice broke. "I am pregnant with your grandchildren, and you just called me a liar and a cheater." Nobody said anything. Jennifer sipped her wine and looked at her phone. Robert stared at his plate. Aunt Susan shifted uncomfortably in her chair. David sat like a statue. Maya grabbed her purse and ran out of the dining room. She ran through the front door and out to the car. She sat in the passenger seat crying. Her whole body shook. She waited for David to come after her. She waited for him to defend her and tell his mother she was wrong. She waited for an hour. The sun started to set. The January air was freezing cold. Finally, David came out of the house. He got in the driver's seat and started the car without speaking. "You said nothing," Maya said. Her voice was hoarse from crying. "Your mother accused me of terrible things and you just sat there." "She is upset," David said. "She will come around. She just needs time." "Time?" Maya said. "David, she called me a gold digger. She said these babies are not yours." "I know what she said," David said. He sounded tired. "But fighting with her will not help anything. Let me handle this my way." They drove home in silence. Maya stared out the window at the dark highway. She felt completely alone. She touched her stomach where 2 babies were growing. She whispered to them that she would protect them from this hate. That night, Maya lay in bed unable to sleep. David slept next to her, breathing deeply. At midnight, Maya's phone buzzed. She picked it up and saw a text message from Patricia. The message said, "We will require DNA testing before those children receive any recognition or money from this family." Maya stared at the message. Her hands started shaking again. She put the phone down and cried silently in the dark. Maya showed David the text message the next morning at breakfast. He was eating toast and drinking coffee. He read it and put the phone down. "I will talk to her," David said. You will talk to her? Maya said. David, she wants DNA tests. She thinks I am lying about these babies being yours. She is just being protective of the family, David said. Protective? Maya's voice got louder. She is accusing me of cheating on you. She is saying our children are not yours. And you think that is protective? Maya, please, David said. I will handle it. Just give me time. But David did not handle it. The text messages continued. Patricia sent them every few days. Some came in the afternoon. Some came late at night. The messages said terrible things. She called Maya a liar. She said Maya got pregnant on purpose to trap David. She said the babies could not be his. One message said Maya was probably sleeping with other men. Maya stopped reading them after a while, but they kept coming. In early February, Maya went to a baby store to look at cribs. She posted a picture on social media of 2 tiny pairs of baby shoes. She wrote, "Cannot wait to meet my twins." An hour later, Jennifer posted something on her own social media. It said, "Some women will do anything to trap a rich man, even lie about whose baby they are carrying." Jennifer did not use Maya's name, but everyone who followed both of them would know. Maya deleted her post and put her phone away. She felt sick. At the next Sunday dinner in mid-February, things got worse. Maya walked into Patricia's living room before dinner. 3 of David's aunts were sitting together talking. They stopped talking the moment Maya entered. They all stared at her. Then one aunt leaned over and whispered something to the others. They all looked at Maya, and one of them shook her head. Maya walked past them to find David. Her face felt hot. She found him in the dining room talking to his cousin Robert. "I want to leave," Maya whispered to David. "We just got here," David said. "They are talking about me," Maya said. "Your aunts stopped talking when I walked in. They were whispering and staring." "You are being paranoid," David said. "I am not being paranoid," Maya said. "David, please, let us just go home." "We need to stay," David said. "If we leave, it makes things worse." During dinner, Maya sat quietly. Patricia sat at the head of the table. Jennifer sat across from Maya. Patricia talked to everyone except Maya. She asked David about work. She asked Jennifer about her upcoming vacation to Europe. She asked Robert about the real estate company. She looked through Maya as if she did not exist. Then Patricia said something that made Maya's blood turn cold. "David, your cousin mentioned that twins do not run in our family," Patricia said. "I explained that to several relatives this week. Nobody on the Patterson side has ever had twins. Not in 4 generations." "They run on my side," Maya said. "I already told you that." Patricia acted like Maya had not spoken. "I was reading an article about paternity testing. Did you know they can do the testing before the baby is born now? It is very safe." "Those tests are not completely safe," Maya said. "They can increase the risk of miscarriage. I am not doing that." "Interesting that you would refuse," Patricia said. She took a sip of wine. Some might wonder why. Maya put down her fork. "I am refusing because I will not risk my babies for a test that should not be necessary. These are David's children." "So you say," Jennifer said quietly. Maya looked at David. He was cutting his chicken into small pieces. He did not look up. "David," Maya said. "Can we please not do this at dinner?" David said. Maya stood up from the table. "I need to use the bathroom." She went to the bathroom and locked the door. She sat on the floor and cried. She heard her phone buzz. Another text from Patricia. She did not read it. She stayed in the bathroom for 15 minutes until she could breathe normally again. At work the next day, Maya was helping a 7-year-old boy with a broken arm. She was smiling and talking to him about his favorite cartoons. Then she felt tears start running down her face. She could not stop them. She excused herself and went to the staff bathroom. She locked herself in a stall and cried. Lisa found her there 20 minutes later. "Maya, what is wrong?" Lisa asked. "Honey, talk to me." "I cannot do this anymore," Maya said. "I cannot keep going to those dinners. I cannot keep reading those messages. David's mother thinks I am a liar and a cheater. His whole family thinks that. And David does nothing. Then leave, Lisa said. Come back to Atlanta. You can stay with me until you figure things out. I am married, Maya said. I am pregnant with twins. Where am I supposed to go? Anywhere is better than where you are now, Lisa said. This is not healthy for you or those babies. That night, Maya looked at plane tickets to Atlanta on her laptop. She could fly down and stay with Lisa. She could have the babies there. She could start over. But then David came home from work and kissed her forehead. He asked how she was feeling. He made dinner. He rubbed her feet while they watched television. He was kind when his family was not around. Maya closed the laptop without booking the flight. February turned into March. Maya was now 5 months pregnant. Her belly was getting bigger. Carrying twins made everything harder. Her back hurt. Her feet swelled. She had trouble sleeping. She stopped working because standing for long shifts became too painful. She spent her days alone in the house while David worked. Patricia called Maya's phone directly one afternoon in early March. Maya almost did not answer, but she did. Hello? Maya said. Maya, we need to discuss arrangements for after the babies are born, Patricia said. Her voice was cold and businesslike. I have contacted a lawyer about protecting the family estate. If you refuse paternity testing before birth, we will require it immediately after. Until paternity is established, those children will not be recognized as Patterson heirs. Why are you doing this? Maya asked. Her voice shook. Why do you hate me so much? I do not hate you, Patricia said. I am protecting my family from someone who is clearly taking advantage of my son. I love David, Maya said. You love his money, Patricia said. There is a difference. Patricia hung up. Maya sat on the couch staring at nothing. She felt hollow inside. She felt like she was disappearing. Another Sunday dinner came in mid-March. Maya was 6 months pregnant now. She could barely fit into any of her dresses. She wore a dark blue maternity dress that Ruth had sent in the mail. Ruth was the only person from David's family who had sent anything for the babies. At dinner, Patricia made an announcement. I have been meeting with our family lawyer about estate planning, she said. Given the uncertain circumstances around David's situation, we need to ensure proper documentation exists. What situation? Maya asked. The twins, Patricia said. Until we have proof of paternity, they cannot be included in any family trusts or inheritance plans. Mother, can we not talk about this now? David said. He sounded tired. We need to talk about it sometime, Patricia said. I am simply being practical. Maya looked at David. He was staring at his plate again, always staring at his plate, never looking at his mother, never defending his wife. Maya felt something break inside her chest. She loved him, but she also hated him in that moment. She hated his silence. She hated his weakness. They drove home without speaking. Maya was exhausted. She went straight to bed, even though it was only 8 o'clock in the evening. She lay in the dark, feeling both babies move inside her. She whispered to them that everything would be okay, but she did not know if that was true. The next morning, Maya's phone rang. It was a number she did not recognize. She almost did not answer, but something made her pick up. Hello? Maya said. Maya, this is Ruth, the voice said. David's grandmother. We met at your wedding. Maya sat up in bed. Yes, I remember. Hello, Ruth. I heard what Patricia has been doing, Ruth said. Her voice was strong and clear. I heard about the accusations and the demands for testing. I want you to know something important. What? Maya asked. I believe you, sweet girl, Ruth said. Maya started crying. She could not help it. Those 4 words meant everything. Thank you, Maya whispered into the phone. Thank you so much for saying that. You do not need to thank me for telling the truth, Ruth said. Those babies are David's. Anyone with eyes can see how much you love him. Why does she hate me so much? Maya asked. Because you are not who she chose for David, Ruth said. Patricia has controlled every part of her children's lives since they were born. When David married you, he made his own choice. She cannot forgive that." "David keeps saying she will come around," Maya said. Ruth made a sound that was almost a laugh, but not quite. "Patricia will never come around. I have known her for 35 years. She was my daughter-in-law. She made my son Richard miserable every day of their marriage. She controlled his money, his friends, his work. When he asked for a divorce, she made his life hell. He died of a heart attack when he was 52 years old. I think the stress of living with her killed him." Maya had never heard this story. David never talked about how his father died. "That is terrible." "Patricia is terrible," Ruth said. "But you need to know that none of this is your fault. You could be anyone, and she would still treat you this way. This is about power and control, nothing else." They talked for an hour. Ruth asked about the pregnancy. She asked how Maya was feeling. She asked if the babies were moving. Maya told her everything. When they finally hung up, Maya felt lighter than she had in weeks. A package arrived 3 days later. It was from Ruth. Inside were 2 soft white baby blankets. There was also a card. It said, "For Elijah and Zara, if you like those names." Or whatever names you choose. "Love, Grandma Ruth." Maya cried reading the card. She called Ruth immediately. "You sent baby blankets," Maya said. "I did," Ruth said. "Every baby needs soft blankets." "You are the only person from David's family who has sent anything," Maya said. "That is shameful," Ruth said, "but I am not surprised." From that day on, Ruth called Maya every Sunday morning. She called before the Sunday dinners at Patricia's house. She would talk to Maya for 30 minutes or an hour. She told stories about her life. She asked about the babies. She made Maya laugh. Those Sunday calls became the only good part of Maya's week. Ruth sent packages every 2 weeks. Baby clothes, books about twins, a stuffed bear. Each package came with a card that had encouraging words. Maya kept every card in a box. In early April, when Maya was 7 months pregnant, David came home from work looking nervous. He sat down on the couch and would not look at her. "What is wrong?" Maya asked. "My mother called a family meeting this afternoon," David said. "She wanted to talk about us, about the babies." "Was I invited?" Maya asked, even though she already knew the answer. "No," David said. "It was just family." "I am your wife," Maya said. "I am family." "I know," David said. He rubbed his face with his hands. "She wants me to file for divorce before the babies are born." Maya felt like all the air left the room. "What did you say?" "I said no," David said quickly. "I told her I am not divorcing you." "What else did you say?" Maya asked. David was quiet for a moment. "I told her the babies are mine and I know that." "Did you tell her to stop sending me text messages?" Maya asked. "We talked about a lot of things," David said. "Did you tell her to stop calling me a liar?" Maya asked. Her voice was getting louder. "Did you tell her to stop posting things on social media? Did you tell her that what she is doing is cruel and wrong?" David looked at his hands. "I mostly just listened." "You listened," Maya said. The words tasted bitter. "Your mother told you to divorce your pregnant wife and you listened." "I said no to the divorce," David said. "That is what matters." "No, David," Maya said. "What matters is that you will not stand up for me. You just sit there and let your family destroy me. You say no to divorce, but you do not tell them to stop. You do not defend me. You just listen and stay quiet." "I am trying to keep the peace," David said. "There is no peace," Maya shouted. "There is just your family abusing me and you doing nothing." She went to the bedroom and locked the door. David knocked and tried to talk to her. She did not answer. She lay on the bed and felt both babies kicking. She put her hands on her stomach and cried. By late April, Maya had to stop working completely. She was 7 months pregnant with twins, and her body could not handle the physical demands of nursing. Her doctor told her to rest as much as possible. She spent her days alone in the house. She watched television. She read baby books. She felt both babies moving constantly now. Sometimes their kicks hurt. She talked to them even though they could not hear her yet. She told them she loved them. She promised to protect them. Lisa called from Atlanta almost every day now. "How are you feeling?" Lisa would ask. "Tired," Maya always said. "My back hurts all the time. I cannot sleep." "I mean, how are you feeling emotionally?" Lisa said. "I do not know anymore," Maya said. "I feel empty. I feel angry. I feel sad. I feel everything and nothing at the same time." "Leave him," Lisa said. "Get on a plane and come here. You can have the babies at Grady. I will take care of you." "I cannot get on a plane," Maya said. "I am too pregnant. The airline would not let me fly." "Then drive," Lisa said, "or take a train. Just get out of there." But Maya did not leave. She did not know why. Maybe she still loved David. Maybe she was too tired to plan an escape. Maybe she hoped something would change. Patricia's text messages continued through April and into early May. Jennifer kept posting things on social media. At Sunday dinners, David's relatives whispered and stared. Patricia told more people that Maya had an affair. She said the twins could not possibly be David's because Patterson men did not have twins. Nobody asked Maya for her side of the story. Nobody cared. Ruth kept calling every Sunday. Ruth kept sending packages. Ruth was the only light in the darkness. By late February of 2023, Maya was 8 months pregnant. She could barely walk. Her feet were swollen. Her face was puffy. She could not fit into any of her regular clothes. She wore David's t-shirts and stretchy pants. She cried almost every day. Sometimes she cried because her body hurt. Sometimes she cried because she felt so alone. Sometimes she cried for no reason at all. David tried to be supportive. He made dinner. He helped her get dressed when she could not reach her feet. But he still went to Sunday dinners. He still let his mother say terrible things. He still chose silence over defending his wife. On March 14th, Maya felt strange all day. The babies were not moving as much as usual. Her back hurt more than normal. She called the doctor. The doctor said to rest and call back if anything changed. Maya lay in bed most of the day. David sat with her in the evening. They watched a movie, but Maya could not focus on it. At 4 o'clock in the morning on March 15th, Maya woke up suddenly. She felt warm liquid between her legs. She touched the sheets. They were soaked. Her water had broken. "David," she said. She shook his shoulder. "David, wake up." "What is wrong?" David said, his voice thick with sleep. "My water broke," Maya said. "The babies are coming." David jumped out of bed. He turned on the light. Maya was sitting up with her hand on her stomach. The sheets were wet underneath her. "Are you sure?" David asked. "Yes, I am sure," Maya said. "We need to go to the hospital now." David grabbed the hospital bag Maya had packed 2 weeks ago. He helped her stand up and walk to the car. It was still dark outside. The streets were empty. David drove fast toward Yale New Haven Hospital. Maya held her stomach and breathed deeply. The contractions had not started yet, but she knew they would soon. They arrived at the hospital at 4:30 in the morning. A nurse brought a wheelchair and took Maya to the labor and delivery floor. David walked next to her carrying the bag. They put Maya in a hospital room. A doctor came in to examine her. She confirmed that Maya's water had broken and the babies would come soon. "How long will it take?" Maya asked. "With twins, it is hard to say," the doctor said. "Could be a few hours. Could be longer. We will monitor you closely." The contractions started at 5 o'clock in the morning. They were small at first, just a tightening feeling in Maya's stomach, but they got stronger as the morning went on. By 7 o'clock, Maya was in serious pain. The contractions came every 5 minutes. Each one felt like her body was being squeezed in a vice. David held her hand. He brought her ice chips. He helped her walk around the room when the nurse said walking might help. But Maya could see he was nervous. He kept checking his phone. He kept looking at the door. "Are you okay?" Maya asked between contractions. "I am fine," David said. "I am just worried about you." The morning turned into afternoon. The pain got worse. Maya could not talk during contractions anymore. She just gripped the bed rails and tried to breathe. The nurses came in and out checking her progress. The doctor came back at noon and said she was doing well but still had a long way to go. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the doctor said Maya could have an epidural for the pain. They put a needle in her back. After 20 minutes, the pain became more manageable. Maya could breathe again. She could think again. But she was exhausted. She had been in labor for 10 hours. "Do you want me to call anyone?" David asked. "Call Ruth," Maya said. "Tell her the babies are coming." David stepped out of the room to make the call. When he came back, he said Ruth was driving down from Cambridge. She would arrive as soon as she could. The afternoon continued. Maya was so tired she dozed between contractions. David sat in a chair next to the bed. At 6 o'clock in the evening, the doctor came in and examined Maya again. "It is time to push," the doctor said. They moved Maya's bed into a different position. Nurses came in to prepare. The doctor put on gloves. Maya was terrified and exhausted, but she knew she had to do this. She had to bring her babies into the world. "When the next contraction comes, I need you to push as hard as you can," the doctor said. The contraction came. Maya pushed. It hurt even with the epidural. She pushed again and again. The room was full of people telling her what to do. Push, breathe, push again. She lost track of time. Everything blurred together into pain and effort and voices. Then suddenly the doctor said, "I see the head." One more push. Maya pushed with everything she had left. She felt the baby slide out of her body. She heard crying. Loud, angry crying. "It is a boy," the doctor said, "born at 6:47 p.m. They put the baby on Maya's chest. He was tiny and red and crying. Maya touched his face with shaking hands. He was real. He was here, her son. "We need to deliver the second baby now," the doctor said. They took the boy and gave him to a nurse. Maya had to push again. She was so tired she did not think she could do it. But 3 minutes later, at 6:50 p.m., the second baby came. A girl. She was crying too. They put her on Maya's chest next to where her brother had been. "2 healthy babies," the doctor said. "Congratulations." Maya was crying. She looked at her daughter's tiny face. She could not believe she had done it. She had 2 babies. They were here, and they were healthy. The nurses cleaned both babies and wrapped them in blankets. They brought them back to Maya. She held one in each arm. They were so small, so perfect. David stood next to the bed looking at them. "What are their names?" a nurse asked. "Elijah," Maya said, looking at her son, "and Zara." She looked at her daughter. "Beautiful names," the nurse said. David held Elijah first. He looked at his son's face for a long time. Then he held Zara. He smiled, but his smile did not reach his eyes. He looked worried about something. "Did you call your mother?" Maya asked. David's face changed. He looked uncomfortable. "I will call her tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" Maya said. "David, we just had our children." "I know," David said. "I just think tomorrow is better. Let us just enjoy tonight." Maya was too tired to argue. The nurses took the babies to the nursery for a few hours so Maya could rest. She fell asleep immediately. When she woke up, it was dark outside. A nurse brought the babies back in their clear bassinets. Maya fed them both with help from the nurse. Then she just watched them sleep. Ruth arrived the next morning at 9 o'clock. She was carrying flowers and crying happy tears. She hugged Maya carefully. "You did it, sweet girl," Ruth said. "You brought these babies into the world." Ruth held Elijah first. She looked at him and cried. Then she held Zara. "They are perfect," Ruth said. "They are absolutely perfect." "Have you heard from Patricia or Jennifer?" Maya asked. Ruth's face hardened. "No, and I am not surprised. They are hateful people." Maya's phone stayed quiet all day. Patricia did not call. Jennifer did not call. David's cousin Robert did not call. Nobody from the Patterson family acknowledged that the babies existed. Only Ruth cared. They stayed in the hospital for 3 days. Maya learned how to feed both babies. She learned how to change diapers. She learned how to swaddle them in blankets. The nurses said she was doing a great job. David helped, but he seemed distracted. He kept checking his phone. He kept stepping out to make calls. On the 3rd day, they went home. David drove carefully with both car seats secured in the back. Maya sat in the passenger seat and kept turning around to check on Elijah and Zara. When they got home, David carried both car seats inside. Maya followed slowly. Her body hurt from giving birth. The house felt strange with babies in it. It was quiet, except for when they cried. Maya spent the first day just feeding them and changing them and trying to sleep between. David helped, but he was withdrawn and quiet. 2 days after they came home from the hospital, David's phone buzzed with a text message. He read it, and his face went pale. "What is it?" Maya asked. She was sitting on the couch feeding Zara. "It is from my mother," David said. He showed Maya the phone. The text said, "Family reunion on April 2nd at 3 p.m. Formal invitations have been sent to all Patterson family members. Your attendance is required." "Did she send me an invitation?" Maya asked, even though she knew the answer. "I do not think so," David said. "Does the text mention the babies?" Maya asked. "No." Maya felt her blood turn cold. She looked down at Zara nursing in her arms. "She is planning something." "I do not know what you mean," David said. "Yes, you do," Maya said. "She is having a family reunion 2 weeks after your children were born. She invited everyone except me. She did not even mention that Elijah and Zara exist. She is planning something terrible. Maybe she just wants to talk to the family," David said. "David, you cannot be that naive," Maya said. "I have to go," David said. "It is a family obligation." Maya stared at him. "You are going to leave me here alone with our newborn babies to go to your mother's house?" "It is just for a few hours," David said. "No," Maya said. "You are not going." "Maya, I have to," David said. "She is my mother." "And I am your wife." Maya's voice got loud. Zara stopped nursing and started crying. "We just had 2 babies and your family has ignored us. Now your mother wants you to come to some reunion where I am not invited. And you are actually considering going?" "I will talk to her," David said. "I will tell her to stop all of this." "You have been saying that for 9 months," Maya said. "You never do it. You just let her do whatever she wants." They did not speak to each other for the rest of the day. David slept on the couch that night. Maya lay in bed with both babies in bassinets next to her. She looked at their sleeping faces and felt her heart break. They had been born into a family that did not want them. On the morning of April 2nd, Maya woke up to the sound of David in the shower. He was getting dressed in nice clothes. He was actually going to Hartford. He was leaving her and the babies to go to his mother's house. Maya was feeding Elijah when her phone rang. It was Ruth. "Good morning," Maya said. "Pack the babies," Ruth said. Her voice was strong and fierce. "What?" Maya said. "Pack the babies," Ruth repeated. "Get them dressed. I am coming to get you. We are going to Hartford." "Ruth, what are you talking about?" Maya asked. She held Elijah against her shoulder. "I know what Patricia is planning," Ruth said. "She is going to tell the whole family that those babies are not David's. She is going to announce that David is getting a divorce. She is going to humiliate you in front of everyone." "How do you know that?" Maya asked. "Because I know Patricia," Ruth said. "She called me last week. She wanted me to come to this reunion. She said it was time to resolve the David situation. That is what she called it. The David situation." Maya felt sick. "What do I do?" "You get dressed," Ruth said. "You dress those babies in the prettiest clothes they have. Then you wait for me. I will be there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are going to that reunion." "I cannot go there," Maya said. "Ruth, I am terrified." "I know you are," Ruth said. But you need to trust me. I have a plan. We are going to end this today. All of it." "What plan?" Maya asked. "I will explain in the car," Ruth said. "Just be ready at 2 o'clock." Ruth hung up. Maya sat on the bed holding Elijah. Her hands were shaking. David came out of the bathroom wearing a suit. He looked at her. "Who was that?" David asked. "Ruth," Maya said. "She is coming to get me." "What do you mean?" David asked. "I am going to Hartford," Maya said. "I am going to your mother's reunion." "Maya, you were not invited," David said. "I do not care," Maya said. "These are your children. Your family needs to see them." David looked worried. "I do not think this is a good idea." "Nothing about this situation is a good idea," Maya said. "But I am done hiding. I am done letting your mother pretend my babies do not exist." David left at 11 o'clock in the morning. He kissed Maya on the forehead and looked at the babies. "Please do not come to Hartford," he said. "Goodbye, David," Maya said. After he left, Maya got dressed. She put on a simple blue dress. She brushed her hair and put on a little makeup. Then she dressed the babies. Ruth had sent them matching white outfits last week. Maya had thought they were for a future occasion. Now she understood. Ruth had been planning this. She dressed Elijah in his white outfit. Then she dressed Zara in hers. They looked like angels. She packed a diaper bag with bottles, diapers, wipes, and pacifiers. She fed both babies. She changed them. She tried to keep her hands from shaking, but she could not. She was more scared than she had ever been in her life. Ruth arrived at exactly 2 o'clock. Maya heard the car pull up outside. She looked out the window and saw Ruth's old blue car. Ruth got out slowly. She was 78 years old, but she moved with purpose. She walked up to the door and knocked. Maya opened it. "Are you ready?" Ruth asked. "I think so," Maya said. "Then let us go end this nightmare," Ruth said. Maya put both car seats in the back of Ruth's car. She secured them carefully. Elijah was sleeping. Zara was awake and making small sounds. Ruth got in the driver's seat. Maya got in the passenger seat. They drove away from Greenwich toward Hartford. The drive would take about 45 minutes. Ruth drove carefully and not too fast. "Tell me your plan," Maya said. "Patricia thinks she has won," Ruth said. "She thinks she has turned the whole family against you. She is going to announce today that David is divorcing you and that the babies are not his. She will demand DNA testing. She will make a spectacle of the whole thing." "That is horrible," Maya said. "Yes, it is," Ruth said. "But she made one mistake." "What mistake?" Maya asked. "She never actually looked at those babies," Ruth said. "She never asked for pictures. She decided they were not David's before they were even born. She never bothered to check if she was right." "I do not understand," Maya said. Ruth smiled. "David has a birthmark on his neck. Did you know that?" Maya thought about it. "Yes, I have seen it. On the left side. It is small and brown." "Shaped like a half moon," Ruth said. "His father Richard had the exact same mark in the exact same place. My husband David's grandfather had it too. It goes back 4 generations in the Patterson family. Every male child has that birthmark." "Okay," Maya said. "What does that have to do with anything?" "When I visited you in the hospital," Ruth said, "I held both babies. I looked at them closely. I noticed something." Maya's heart started beating faster. "What did you notice?" "Both of them have the birthmark," Ruth said. "Elijah has it. Zara has it too. Same place, same shape. I took pictures on my phone." Maya felt her mouth fall open. "I never noticed." "You were exhausted from giving birth," Ruth said, "and you were not looking for it. But I was. I knew about the birthmark because I saw it on my husband, my son, and my grandson. When I saw it on both babies, I knew we had proof that even Patricia cannot deny." "We are going to show the family the birthmark," Maya said. "We are going to show them the truth," Ruth said. "Patricia has spent 9 months telling everyone those babies are not Patterson children. Today she is going to see with her own eyes that she was wrong. and so will everyone else. They drove through Connecticut towns, past houses and stores and churches. The afternoon was sunny and warm. Spring had arrived. Maya looked back at her babies in their car seats. Both were sleeping now. They had no idea what was about to happen. "What if Patricia throws us out?" Maya asked. "She might try," Ruth said, "but I will not let her. I am still a Patterson. I was married to the family for 46 years before my husband died. I have every right to be at that reunion. And you are David's wife. You have every right too." "I am so scared," Maya admitted. Ruth reached over and squeezed Maya's hand. "Be brave for just a little longer, sweet girl. After today, this is over. All of it." They arrived in Hartford at 2:55 in the afternoon. Ruth drove slowly down Patricia's street. The mansion came into view. It was huge and white with columns. There were at least 20 cars in the driveway and parked on the street. The reunion had started. Ruth parked down the street where the car could not be seen from the house. She turned off the engine and checked her watch. "We have 5 minutes," Ruth said. "The reunion started at 3 o'clock. Patricia will want everyone settled before she makes her announcement. We will walk in at exactly 3 o'clock when everyone is gathered." Maya's hands were shaking. She unbuckled her seatbelt and got out. She opened the back door and carefully lifted Elijah's car seat out. Ruth took Zara's car seat. They each took a baby out and held them. "Leave the car seats," Ruth said. "We will carry them." Maya held Elijah against her chest. He woke up and made a small sound but did not cry. Ruth held Zara. Ruth checked her watch again. "It is time," Ruth said. They walked up the street toward the mansion. Maya's legs felt weak. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it might explode. They walked up the long driveway. Maya could see people moving inside through the tall windows. She heard voices and laughter. They reached the front door. Ruth did not knock. She put her hand on the door handle. "Ready?" Ruth asked. Maya nodded. She could not speak. Ruth pushed the door open. They walked inside. The front hall was empty. Voices came from the main living room to the right. Ruth walked straight toward the sound. Maya followed behind her. Her arms held Elijah tightly. The baby was warm against her chest. They reached the entrance to the living room. The room was massive with white marble floors and tall windows. There were at least 50 people inside, men in suits, women in expensive dresses. Everyone held wine glasses or small plates of food. Waiters in black uniforms moved through the crowd with trays. Ruth stepped into the room. Maya stepped in behind her. The room went silent. Every conversation stopped. Every head turned. 50 pairs of eyes stared at them. Patricia stood in the center of the room. She wore a cream-colored dress and her signature pearls. Her face was made up perfectly. Her blonde hair was styled. She held a glass of wine. When she saw Ruth and Maya, her face went white. Jennifer stood next to her mother. She wore a black dress and high heels. Her mouth fell open when she saw the babies. David sat on a leather couch near the fireplace. His cousin Robert stood next to him holding a drink. David's Aunt Susan sat in an armchair. Other relatives filled the room. Maya recognized some from Sunday dinners. Others were strangers. David stood up quickly when he saw Maya. His face showed shock and fear. "Maya, what are you doing here?" Maya did not answer. She could not speak. Her throat felt tight. Patricia recovered first. She put her wine glass down on a table. "This is a private family event," she said. Her voice was cold and controlled. "Ruth, you were invited. Maya was not." Ruth walked straight toward the center of the room. "Be quiet, Patricia." The room gasped. Nobody spoke to Patricia that way, especially not in her own house. "Excuse me?" Patricia said. "I said be quiet," Ruth repeated. Her voice was loud and clear. "You have done enough talking for 9 months, now it is my turn." Patricia's face turned red. "How dare you speak to me like that? This is my home." "I do not care," Ruth said. She stood in the center of the room holding Zara. Maya stood next to her holding Elijah. "You are going to listen to what I have to say. All of you are. Jennifer stepped forward. Grandma Ruth, maybe you should leave. This is not the time or place for whatever you think you are doing. Sit down, Jennifer, Ruth said. You are just as guilty as your mother. Jennifer's face went red, but she did not move. David walked closer. Maya, please. This is not a good idea. Maya looked at him. You do not get to tell me what is a good idea. You left me and our babies to come here. You chose them over us. That is not fair, David said. None of this is fair, Maya said. Her voice shook. But we are here now. Patricia stepped forward. She tried to take control again. Everyone, I apologize for this interruption. Ruth, if you and that woman would please leave, we can continue with our family gathering. That woman has a name, Ruth said. Her name is Maya. She is your daughter-in-law. These babies are your grandchildren. It is time you acknowledged that. Those babies are not my grandchildren, Patricia said. Her voice was ice cold. Those babies are the result of Maya's affair. Everyone in this family knows it. That is why we are gathered here today, to discuss how David can move forward after this betrayal. The room murmured. Some people nodded. Others looked uncomfortable. Maya felt tears burning in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. You are wrong, Ruth said. I am not wrong, Patricia said. David, tell them. Tell everyone what we discussed. Tell them about the divorce. David stood frozen. He looked at Maya. He looked at his mother. He did not speak. David was going to announce today that he is filing for divorce, Patricia said to the room. He will demand DNA testing for those babies. When the tests prove what we already know, he will be free of this woman and her lies. Maya felt like she had been slapped. She looked at David. Is that true? Were you going to announce a divorce today? David's face was pale. No, I mean she wanted me to. But I said no. You said no? Maya said. Or you just sat there and listened like you always do? I said I needed time to think, David admitted. Maya felt something break inside her chest. She had known David was weak, but she had not known he was this weak. Ruth's voice cut through the room. Everyone be quiet. You are all about to learn an important lesson about cruelty and lies and what it costs. Patricia laughed. It was a cold, mean laugh. The only person who has lied is Maya. She trapped my son with a pregnancy that is not his. She wants our family money. That is all she has ever wanted. You are wrong, Ruth said again, and I can prove it. There is no proof, Jennifer said. Those babies do not look anything like David. They are 2 weeks old, Maya said. Her voice came out stronger than she expected. They barely look like anything yet. Exactly, Patricia said, which is why DNA testing is the only way to prove paternity. And I suspect Maya will fight that testing because she knows the truth. I am not fighting anything, Maya said. Test them. I do not care. These are David's children. Then you should have no problem waiting for the test results before making any claims on Patterson family assets, Patricia said. I do not want your money, Maya shouted. Elijah started crying. She rocked him gently and lowered her voice. I never wanted your money. I wanted a family. I wanted my children to have a grandmother and an aunt and cousins. I wanted them to be loved, but you decided to hate them before they were even born. I do not hate children, Patricia said. I hate liars. Ruth stepped forward. You want proof, Patricia? I will give you proof that even you cannot deny. There is no proof, Patricia said. Look at these babies, Ruth said. She turned to face everyone in the room. Look at their faces. People leaned forward. They stared at Zara in Ruth's arms and Elijah in Maya's arms. The afternoon sunlight came through the tall windows. The light made everything bright and clear. Ruth pulled back the blanket from Zara's face. Look at her eyes. Zara had bright blue eyes, David's exact eyes, the same shade, the same shape. She has blue eyes, Patricia said. Many babies have blue eyes. Look at her nose, Ruth said. Look at her chin. Look at the shape of her ears. The room was quiet. People stared. Some looked uncomfortable. Maya could see them noticing the resemblance. Zara looked like David. It was undeniable. "Now look at the boy," Ruth said. Maya pulled back Elijah's blanket. He had stopped crying. He looked up at everyone with the same blue eyes, the same nose, the same features as his sister. "They look like David," someone whispered. "Some features can be coincidental," Patricia said. Her voice was less certain now. "That proves nothing." "You are right," Ruth said. "Features can be coincidental, but this cannot be." Ruth gently turned Zara's head to the left. She pulled down the white collar of the baby's outfit. There on the left side of Zara's neck was a small brown birthmark. It was shaped like a half moon. The room gasped. Ruth turned to Maya. "Show them Elijah." Maya's hands shook. She turned Elijah's head gently. She pulled down his collar. There on the left side of his neck was the exact same birthmark. Same shape, same size, same location. "David, show them your neck," Ruth commanded. David stood frozen for a moment. Then slowly, he walked to the center of the room. He stood next to Maya. He pulled down his collar and turned his head. His birthmark was identical to both babies. "My husband had this birthmark," Ruth said. Her voice rang out clear and strong. "Richard, David's father, had it in the exact same place. So did Richard's father. It has been in the Patterson blood for 4 generations. Only Patterson men carry this mark. These babies have it. Both of them. That means they are Patterson children. That means Maya has been telling the truth for 9 months while you all called her a liar and a cheater." The room was completely silent. "That could be a coincidence," Patricia said, but her voice was weak. "It is not a coincidence," Ruth said. "You know it is not. Everyone in this room knows it is not. These are David's children. They are your grandchildren, and you have spent 9 months torturing their mother with lies and hate." Patricia's wine glass fell from her hand. The glass hit the marble floor and shattered into pieces. Red wine spread across the white marble. The sound echoed through the silent room. Patricia swayed on her feet. Her eyes rolled back in her head. "Mother?" Jennifer said. Patricia collapsed. She fell hard onto the floor. Her head made a terrible sound when it hit the marble. Jennifer screamed and dropped to her knees next to her mother. "Someone call 911!" Jennifer shouted. Nobody moved. 50 people stood frozen. They all stared at Patricia lying on the floor. Red wine pooled around her head. It looked dark against the white marble. Jennifer shook her mother's shoulders. "Wake up! Mother, wake up!" Patricia did not move. Her eyes were closed. Her face was pale. Both babies started crying from all the noise. Maya rocked Elijah and tried to calm him. Ruth held Zara close and whispered to her. "Is anyone going to help?" Jennifer screamed. She looked around the room at all the relatives. "She needs help!" Still nobody moved. They just stared. Some looked shocked. Some looked uncomfortable. Nobody rushed to Patricia's side. David stood in the center of the room. He looked down at his mother on the floor. His face showed no emotion. He was completely still. "David, do something!" Jennifer shouted at her brother. David did not move. He kept staring at Patricia. Then slowly he turned away from her. He walked to Ruth and Maya. He reached out and took Elijah from Maya's arms. Then he took Zara from Ruth's arms. He held both babies, one in his left arm, one in his right arm. He looked down at their small faces. The room watched him. Everyone waited to see what he would do. David turned back to face his mother lying on the floor. His voice came out steady and cold. "My family is dead to me." "David, what are you saying?" Jennifer said. She was crying now. Mascara ran down her face. "I am saying you are no longer my family," David said. "Any of you." He looked around the room. He looked at every face. His cousin Robert, his Aunt Susan, his Uncle James, all the relatives who had come to this reunion. "You spent 9 months torturing my wife," David said. His voice got louder. "You called her terrible names. You accused her of things she never did. You sent cruel text messages in the middle of the night. You posted lies on social media. You whispered about her at family dinners. You made her cry every single day while she carried my children. David, your mother was just trying to protect you, Aunt Susan said from her chair. Protect me from what? David shouted. From the woman I love? From my own children? She was not protecting me. She was destroying the only good thing in my life. Patricia started to wake up. She groaned and opened her eyes. She looked confused. She touched her head and her hand came away with blood on it. She had cut her head when she fell. David, Patricia whispered. She reached out her hand toward him. David stepped back. Do not touch me. Do not come near me or my children ever again. They are my grandchildren, Patricia said weakly. No, David said. They are not. You gave up that right when you spent 9 months calling their mother a liar and a cheater. You gave up that right when you demanded DNA tests. You gave up that right when you told me to divorce my pregnant wife. I was wrong, Patricia said. She tried to sit up but fell back down. I can see that now. I am sorry. You are not sorry, David said. You are embarrassed. You are humiliated because everyone in this room just saw proof that you were wrong. But you are not sorry for what you did to Maya. You are not sorry for the pain you caused. Jennifer stood up. David, this is not the time. Then call 911, David said. I am not helping her. She is your mother, Jennifer shouted. She stopped being my mother when she treated my wife like garbage, David said. When she made accusations without proof. When she tried to turn this entire family against an innocent woman. Robert stepped forward. David, maybe we should all calm down and discuss this rationally. There is nothing to discuss, David said. I am done with all of you. You sat here today ready to watch my mother announce my divorce. You were ready to celebrate while my life fell apart. You believed her lies instead of asking me for the truth. We did not know, Aunt Susan said quietly. You did not want to know, David said. You wanted to believe the worst about Maya because it was easier than standing up to Patricia. Everyone in this family knows she is cruel. Everyone knows she is controlling. But nobody ever says anything because you are all afraid of her. That is not true, Jennifer said. It is completely true, Ruth said. She had been quiet, but now she spoke. I have watched Patricia destroy people for 35 years. She destroyed my son Richard. She destroyed his spirit and his health. She controlled every part of his life until he had a heart attack and died at 52 years old. And not one person in this family stood up to her. That is not fair, Jennifer said. Fair? Ruth said. What does this family know about fair? Maya worked as a nurse helping sick children. She married David because she loved him. She got pregnant with his babies. And you all treated her like a criminal. Patricia was sitting up now. Blood ran down her face from the cut on her head. I made a mistake, she said. Her voice was weak. I can admit that. But David, you cannot throw away your entire family over one mistake. One mistake? Maya spoke for the first time since the glass broke. Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. You call 9 months of torture one mistake? You called me a gold digger. You said I trapped your son. You said I was sleeping with other men. You demanded DNA tests. You told relatives I was a liar. You tried to convince David to divorce me while I was pregnant with twins. That is not one mistake. That is cruelty. That is hate. I did not know the babies were David's, Patricia said. You did not want to know, Maya said. You decided they were not his before you ever saw them. You never asked to see pictures. You never asked their names. You never acknowledged they existed. You just wanted to destroy me. Patricia's face hardened. Even bleeding and sitting on the floor, she tried to maintain control. I was protecting my family's interests. You were protecting your pride, Ruth said. You could not stand that David chose his own wife without your permission. You could not stand that he married someone you did not pick. This was never about the babies. This was about power and control. David looked at his mother on the floor. You will never see Elijah or Zara. You will never hear their voices. You will never know their lives. You will never watch them grow up. You destroyed any chance of being their grandmother." "David, please," Patricia said. She was crying now, real tears. "They are my blood." "Blood does not make family," David said. "Love makes family. Loyalty makes family. Standing up for each other makes family. You have none of those things." He looked at Jennifer. "You are no longer my sister. You laughed when Mother accused Maya. You posted things on social media. You enjoyed watching Maya suffer." "I did not enjoy it," Jennifer said, but her voice was weak. "Yes, you did," David said. "You are just like Mother, cruel and cold and hateful." He turned to face the entire room again. "All of you came here today to watch my life fall apart. You came to support Mother while she tried to destroy my marriage. Not one of you called me to ask my side of the story. Not one of you reached out to Maya to offer support. You all just believed the lies because it was easier." "What do you want us to say?" Robert asked. "Nothing," David said. "I want nothing from any of you. The Patterson family ends today. You will never meet my children. You will never see them or speak to them. They will grow up knowing nothing about you, and that is exactly what you deserve." Patricia tried to stand up but fell back down. "Someone help me," she said. Nobody moved to help her. David turned and walked toward the door. He still held both babies in his arms. Maya and Ruth followed him. "You cannot just leave," Jennifer shouted. "Mother is bleeding." David stopped at the door. He turned around one last time. "Call 911 if you are so concerned, or ask one of these 50 people to help her. I am done." "You will regret this," Patricia said from the floor. "You will come back begging for forgiveness." "No," David said. "I will not. The only thing I regret is not doing this 9 months ago. I should have stood up for Maya from the beginning. I should have told you to stop the first time you accused her. I was a coward. I chose silence because it was easier than fighting with you. I let you torture my wife because I was afraid of you." His voice broke. "I will never forgive myself for that. Maya will probably never forgive me either. But I am done being silent. I am done letting you control my life. Goodbye, Mother. Goodbye to all of you." He walked out the door. Maya and Ruth followed. Behind them, the room erupted in chaos. They walked down the long driveway. David held both babies carefully. Maya walked next to him. Ruth walked on his other side. Behind them, voices shouted from inside the mansion. Maya heard Jennifer screaming for someone to help. She heard people talking loudly. She did not look back. They reached Ruth's car parked down the street. David gently placed both babies in their car seats. His hands were shaking. He secured the straps and checked them twice to make sure they were safe. Then he stood up and looked at Maya. "I am so sorry," he said. Maya did not respond. She got in the back seat between the two car seats. Ruth got in the driver's seat. David stood on the sidewalk, looking lost. "Get in the car, David," Ruth said. "Your car is still at the mansion. You can get it another day." David got in the front passenger seat. Ruth started the car and drove away from Patricia's mansion. Nobody spoke for several minutes. The only sounds were the engine and the babies making small noises. Finally, David spoke again. "Maya, I am so sorry. I should have said that 9 months ago." Maya looked out the window. She watched houses and trees pass by. "You are right. You should have." "I was a coward," David said. "I let my mother treat you terribly because I was afraid to stand up to her. I have been afraid of her my whole life." "I know," Maya said quietly. "That is not an excuse," David said. "Nothing excuses what I did not do. I sat there and stayed silent while she destroyed you." "Yes, you did," Maya said. She was not going to make this easy for him. Ruth drove onto the highway heading back toward Greenwich. The afternoon sun was starting to lower in the sky. "I do not know if you can ever forgive me," David said. "I do not know if I deserve forgiveness, but I am done being silent. I am done being afraid. What I said back there was the truth. They are dead to me. All of them." "You said that in the heat of the moment," Maya said. "You might change your mind tomorrow." "No," David said firmly. "I will not change my mind. I meant every word. They will never see our children. They will never be part of our lives." Maya looked at Elijah sleeping in his car seat, then at Zara. "They are 2 weeks old, David. They needed family from the day they were born. Where were you then?" "I was being a coward," David said. "Where were you when your mother sent me text messages at midnight calling me a whore?" Maya asked. Her voice was calm but cold. "Where were you when she told everyone I was cheating on you? Where were you when Jennifer posted lies on social media? Where were you at Sunday dinners when your relatives whispered about me?" "I was sitting there doing nothing," David said. "I was failing you." "You were," Maya agreed. They drove in silence for a while. Ruth kept her eyes on the road, but Maya could tell she was listening to everything. "What happens now?" David finally asked. "I do not know," Maya said honestly. "I need time to think. I need time to figure out if I can trust you again." "I understand," David said. "Do you?" Maya said. "Because I do not think you understand what the last 9 months did to me. I cried every single day. I could not sleep. I had panic attacks at work. I felt completely alone even though I was married and pregnant. Your family called me terrible things and you just watched it happen." "I know," David said. His voice was thick with emotion. "I know what I did. I hate myself for it." "Hating yourself does not help me," Maya said. "I need to know you will never do that again. I need to know that if someone attacks me or our children, you will stand up and fight. Not 9 months later, not after I have been destroyed, immediately." "I will," David said. "I promise I will." "Your promises do not mean much to me right now," Maya said. David turned in his seat to look at her. His eyes were red. "Then let me prove it. Let me spend every day proving I changed. Let me be the man I should have been from the beginning." Maya did not respond. She looked at her babies. They were everything to her. She would do anything to protect them, even if that meant leaving David. They arrived back at the house in Greenwich. Ruth parked in the driveway. They all got out. David carried both car seats inside. Maya followed. Ruth came in behind them. "I should get back to Cambridge," Ruth said. "It is a long drive." "Stay tonight," Maya said. "Please, I do not want to be alone with him right now." Ruth looked at David, then at Maya. "Okay, I will stay." They settled the babies in the nursery. Both were hungry, so Maya fed them while Ruth and David went to the kitchen. When Maya came downstairs an hour later, Ruth had made tea and sandwiches. They sat at the kitchen table and ate in silence. David's phone started ringing at 7 o'clock that evening. He looked at the screen. "It is my mother." "Do not answer it," Maya said. David rejected the call. 2 minutes later, it rang again. "Patricia." He rejected it again. Then a text message came through. David read it and put his phone face down on the table. "What did it say?" Ruth asked. "She wants to talk," David said. "She says she is sorry and wants to fix this." "She is not sorry," Ruth said. "She is embarrassed. There is a difference." The phone rang again. This time it was Jennifer. David rejected the call, then a text from Jennifer, then another call from Patricia. David turned his phone off. "They are going to keep calling," Maya said. "Then I will keep ignoring them," David said. That night, Maya fed the babies and put them to bed. Ruth slept in the guest room. David slept on the couch. Maya lay in bed alone and stared at the ceiling. She thought about everything that had happened. She thought about Patricia's face when she saw the birthmarks. She thought about the wine glass shattering on the marble floor. She thought about David finally speaking up. But she also thought about 9 months of silence. 9 months of crying alone. 9 months of being called a liar and a cheater while her husband said nothing. The next morning, David's phone had 17 missed calls and 32 text messages, all from Patricia and Jennifer. He deleted them without reading them. "We need to leave Connecticut," David said at breakfast. "We need to start over somewhere else." "Where would we go?" Maya asked. "Anywhere," David said. "Somewhere far from here. Somewhere my family cannot just show up at our door." Ruth sipped her tea. "What about California? San Diego has good weather, good hospitals for Maya to work at, good opportunities for David's consulting business." "California is 3,000 miles away," Maya said. "Exactly," Ruth said. "Far enough that Patricia cannot drive there on a whim." "What about you?" Maya asked Ruth. "You live in Massachusetts. We would be far from you too." Ruth smiled. "I am 78 years old. I can move. I always wanted to see California." "You would move there?" Maya asked. "For these babies? For you?" "Yes, I would move," Ruth said. "You are my family now. Real family. Not the Patterson name or the money or the mansion. You." Maya felt tears in her eyes. "Thank you, Ruth." David looked at Maya. "What do you think? Should we move to California?" "I need to think about it," Maya said. But deep down, she already knew the answer. She could not stay in Connecticut. This house felt poisoned by 9 months of pain. Every room reminded her of crying. Every Sunday reminded her of terrible dinners at Patricia's mansion. She needed to leave. 2 days later, Maya said yes to California. David started looking for houses in San Diego online. Ruth started packing her small house in Cambridge. Maya called Lisa in Atlanta to tell her. "You are moving to California?" Lisa said. "That is even farther from Atlanta." "I know," Maya said, "but I need distance from David's family. I need to start over." "I understand," Lisa said. "I will miss you, but I am glad you are getting away from those terrible people." "David stood up to them," Maya said. "Finally." "Too late," Lisa said. "I know," Maya agreed, "but at least he did it." In June, David found a house in San Diego near the beach. It was small with 3 bedrooms and a yard. Nothing like the house in Greenwich. He put in an offer and it was accepted. Ruth found a smaller house 2 blocks away. They planned to move in May. Patricia kept calling. David blocked her number. Jennifer sent letters to the house, long letters begging David to forgive them, explaining that Patricia was in the hospital for 2 days after hitting her head, saying the family was devastated. David burned every letter without reading them. In August, David's cousin Robert somehow found their new address in San Diego. He showed up at the door one afternoon saying the family wanted to reconcile. "Your mother is sorry. She wants to meet her grandchildren." "No," David said again. "You cannot just cut off your entire family," Robert said. "Watch me," David said. He shut the door and locked it. 5 more minutes, Robert knocked. David called the police. Robert left before they arrived. "Do you think they will keep trying?" Maya asked. "Probably," David said. "But it does not matter. My answer will always be no." Maya wanted to believe him. Part of her did believe him, but part of her was still waiting for him to fail her again. David proved her wrong. When Jennifer's letters kept coming through September, he burned every single one. When Patricia hired a private investigator who found their phone numbers in October, David changed all their numbers. When Patricia's lawyer sent legal documents in November claiming grandparents' rights, David hired his own lawyer who made it clear no court would force contact after what Patricia had done. "She is not giving up," Maya said one night in December. "Neither am I," David said. "She will never see our children. I meant what I said." They moved to San Diego in early May of 2022. The moving truck arrived on a sunny Tuesday morning. The house was small and bright. Windows let in warm California sunlight. The backyard had grass and a small orange tree. Elijah and Zara were 2 months old. They slept through most of the move. Ruth arrived 3 days later. Her house was 2 blocks away on a quiet street. She could walk to their house in 5 minutes. She started coming over every morning to help with the babies. She would hold them while Maya showered. She would sing to them while Maya made breakfast. She became the grandmother they needed. David quit his job at the financial firm in Connecticut. He started his own consulting business, working from the third bedroom they turned into an office. He took clients in California and worked from home. This meant he could help with the babies during the day. He changed diapers. He gave bottles. He walked around the house at 2 in the morning when they cried. Maya transferred to UC San Diego Medical Center. She went back to work in July when the twins were 4 months old. Ruth watched them during her shifts. Maya was nervous about leaving them, but Ruth sent pictures every hour. Elijah sleeping, Zara smiling, both babies lying on a blanket in the backyard. Life in San Diego was different from Connecticut. The weather was warm. The people were friendlier. Nobody knew the Patterson name. Nobody whispered about Maya or stared at her babies. She could walk through the grocery store without feeling eyes on her back. She could take the twins to the park without wondering if someone was judging her. But things between Maya and David were still broken. She loved him, but she also resented him. Some days she could look at him and feel grateful he finally stood up. Other days she could barely stand to be in the same room with him. The trust was gone. She did not know if it would ever come back. David started going to therapy in June. Every Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he drove to a therapist's office in downtown San Diego. He went for an hour and came home quiet. Maya asked him once what they talked about. "My mother," David said. "My father. My childhood. How I learned to stay silent instead of fighting. How I need to unlearn that." "Is it helping?" Maya asked. "I think so," David said. "The therapist says I have trauma from how my mother raised me. She controlled everything. She punished me when I disagreed with her. I learned that silence was safer than speaking up." "That does not excuse what you did to me," Maya said. "I know," David said. "My therapist says the same thing. Understanding why I did something does not make it okay. I still made choices. I still chose silence when I should have chosen you." He apologized every day, every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. "I am sorry for what I put you through. I am sorry I failed you. I am sorry I was a coward." Maya accepted his apologies, but the words felt empty. Words did not erase 9 months of pain. "I do not need you to apologize anymore," Maya told him in August. "I need you to show me through your actions that you changed. Words are easy. Actions are hard." "Then I will show you," David said. And slowly, he did. When Elijah got sick in September with a fever, David stayed up all night holding him. When Maya's mother's death anniversary came in October, David took the day off work to sit with her while she cried. When Ruth fell and hurt her ankle in November, David drove to her house every day for 2 weeks to help her. Small actions, consistent actions. He was trying. By December, Maya felt something shift inside her. She was not ready to fully forgive David yet. Maybe she never would be. But she could see he was different. He was not the silent man who sat at Patricia's dining table staring at his plate. He spoke up now. He made decisions. He protected his family. Ruth turned 80 years old in September of 2023. They threw her a party in their backyard. There were balloons and a cake and presents. Elijah and Zara were 18 months old. They could walk now. They ran around the yard, chasing each other and laughing. Ruth sat in a chair watching them with tears in her eyes. "I never thought I would see this," Ruth said to Maya. "A happy family. Love without cruelty." "Thank you for everything," Maya said. "For believing me. For standing up for me. For moving 3,000 miles to be near us." "You are the daughter I always wanted," Ruth said. She squeezed Maya's hand. "Those babies are the greatest joy of my old age." Maya cried and hugged her. Ruth had saved her. Without Ruth, Maya did not know what would have happened. She might have left David. She might have gone back to Atlanta alone and raised the twins without their father. Ruth had been the light in the darkness. By March of 2024, Elijah and Zara were 2 years old. They talked now. They said Mama and Dada and Grandma Ruth. They had favorite toys and favorite foods. Elijah loved trucks. Zara loved books. They fought with each other and hugged each other and made Maya laugh every day. They knew nothing about Patricia or Jennifer or the Patterson family in Connecticut. They knew nothing about hate or rejection or cruelty. They just knew love. They knew their mother worked at a hospital helping people. They knew their father worked from home and played with them. They knew Grandma Ruth came over every day with cookies and stories. One afternoon in April, Maya and David took the twins to the beach. It was a sunny Saturday. Elijah and Zara ran toward the water squealing with joy. Ruth walked slowly behind them using her cane. David held Maya's hand. "Are we okay?" David asked. "I mean, really okay?" Maya thought about it. "I do not know if we will ever be completely okay. What happened changed me, changed us. But we are here. We are building something. That is enough for now." "I will spend the rest of my life proving I changed," David said. "I know," Maya said, "and maybe one day I will fully trust you again. But that day is not today." "I understand," David said. They watched their children play in the sand. Elijah picked up a shell and showed it to Zara. She clapped her hands. Ruth laughed at something they did. The sun was warm. The ocean was blue. They were 3,000 miles from Connecticut and everything that happened there. Sometimes Maya still had nightmares. She would wake up in the middle of the night remembering Patricia's cold voice or the text messages or the way David stared at his plate. But the nightmares came less often now. They were fading. She learned important lessons from those 9 terrible months. She learned that silence can destroy a person just as much as words. She learned that love without action is meaningless. She learned that family is not about blood or money or last names. Family is about who stands with you when everything falls apart. Family is about who speaks up when staying quiet is easier. Family is about who shows up. David learned those lessons too. Too late to prevent the pain, but not too late to change. He would never get back the 9 months he lost to fear and silence. He would always carry the guilt of what he let happen. But he was different now. Maya could see it in how he held their children, in how he defended them, in how he kept every single member of his old family away from them. Ruth became everything a grandmother should be. She taught the twins to count. She read them books. She took them to the park and pushed them on swings. She loved them without conditions or demands. She showed Maya what real family looked like. Patricia kept trying for 2 more years. Letters came, phone calls to old numbers, private investigators, lawyers. She tried everything. David blocked it all. He never wavered. He never doubted. He kept his promise. By the time Elijah and Zara turned 3 in March of 2025, Patricia finally stopped. No more letters, no more lawyers, no more attempts. She was gone. The Patterson family was gone. All that remained was the family Maya and David built in California, a small family, a damaged family, but a real family. One night, Maya stood in the twins' bedroom watching them sleep. Elijah with his brown skin and bright blue eyes, Zara with her curly hair and David's smile, both with the half-moon birthmark on their necks, both perfect, both loved. David came and stood next to her. "What are you thinking about?" "Everything we survived," Maya said. "Everything we lost and everything we found." "Do you regret marrying me?" David asked quietly. Maya thought about it honestly. "I regret the pain. I regret the 9 months of hell. But I do not regret Elijah and Zara. I do not regret finding Ruth. I do not regret learning who I am and what I deserve." "What do you deserve?" David asked. "Better than what you gave me," Maya said, "but maybe better than what you are giving me now." David nodded. He understood. He would always be working to earn back what he lost. That was his burden to carry. Maya went downstairs and sat in the backyard. The California night was warm. Stars filled the sky. She could hear the ocean in the distance. Ruth's house glowed with light 2 blocks away. Her children slept safely upstairs. Her life was small and quiet and peaceful. She thought about the girl she was in Atlanta, working at Grady Memorial Hospital, meeting a man with blue eyes at a fundraiser, falling in love, getting married. She had been so happy and so naive. She thought love was enough. She learned it was not. But she also learned she was stronger than she knew. She survived 9 months of cruelty and hate. She gave birth to twins. She moved 3,000 miles to start over. She built a life from broken pieces. The Patterson name meant nothing now. That family with their mansion and their money and their coldness was gone. What remained was the Johnson-Patterson family. A nurse, a consultant, an elderly woman, 2 small children. Nothing impressive, nothing wealthy, but real. Built on loyalty and action and love that required more than just words. Maya looked up at the stars and breathed deeply. She was home. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen.